They might want to be, they don't want to hear the truth. You know what? Yeah, that was okay, but I had better. Oh no. Who wants to hear that? No one wants to hear that. And another getting with confidence issue is younger people, they might be very, very, what's the word I'm looking for? Take it very, very personal as far as who exes are. Oh my God, who was your first sexual experience? Ugly looking. Was his ex-girlfriend better than I am in bed? Was her ex-boyfriend? Could he make her come 3-4 times when I can only do it once? All these hang-ups tend to dissipate as we mature and as we age. That doesn't mean we don't necessarily care. It does. What matters is in the moment we're at, if that makes sense, right? We don't care so much about the exes, whatever. What we care about that you're with me now. Forget the comparisons, right? We can work together and we can take care of that situation, right? Where maybe the younger people, they're so worried about comparing themselves to their prior exes, boyfriends, girlfriends, partners, whatever. But you look at the situation where, they're more worried about that, where the other people they're really not, okay? So you look at them, and what would it take for you, even the younger ones, not to worry about that? When you're worried about that, you can't relax. You're always worried about something, and that's what I mean about the hang-ups. The body image, that tends to dissipate, and I mentioned about stretch marks and getting older, maybe gaining weight a little bit. You're not as buff. You're not, you don't have the same bodies, let's face it, when we get older. And then, when you're younger, you tend to, that's not as important, right? Another aspect, we tend to be more confident when we get older than the younger ones. We might know how to please better, right? We know, not only tied in with, we take responsibility for our own sexual pleasure when we get older. We're better at it. Not everybody, but most, they're a lot better, say, at 40 than they were at 20 or 21 or 23, whatever, okay? And this ties in to being responsibility, but we know what works maybe best for us, that is more pleasing or works better for us, both genders, right? So we're more confident in it. We can tell, you know what? Oh, I'm going to ride you this way, man. I'm going to just, go down there and lick you till no ends. Talking about a picture on Facebook that was shared about oral pleasing, whatever. Also, do you think, when you think about this for a minute, are you able to look at sexual satisfaction, that term, right? 2-word term, sexual satisfaction. You look at, if you're in your early 20s now, what does that mean to you? Clue me in. What does that mean to you? Then you ask somebody, maybe in their mid-30s, 40s, 50s, even 60s, what that term means then. And will it change? And the younger ones, younger adults, I work with couples all the time about, and it cracks me. Sexual satisfaction. Oh, my God. If she comes or I come, that's it. Definition. When you talk to more mature adults and that are more confident sexually, that definition changes and it gets more deep, right? That you start hearing more of the physical pleasures, of course, but you also hear about the soulful, about the heartfelt, right? Almost the universal connection. And that is just as important as being physically satisfied. And younger people, I think they're too hung up on the physical, or as I call, they're more goal-directed after the prize, right? Getting each other off and woohoo, that's it, we're done, we're satisfied. But they don't know how, and they're getting more focus on the goal of coming, right, or orgasm. But when we get older, That is important. Don't get me wrong here. I believe me, I love to come. Women love to come. That age thing doesn't change about that. However, that is not the main thing. So maybe it takes more to equal sexual satisfaction when you're older than when you're younger. And everyone's Greg. If it means more, there's more definition or more to it, wouldn't that be harder to get? So it's better to be younger. No, it isn't. Because being only physically satisfied, what about the emotions? What about the social connection involved? And do you want to be, there's a difference between being satisfied and being, oh, God, totally satisfied, where you feel the connection, you're breathing as one, right? How many people know what the hell I'm talking about? I want you to give me a call, 586-212-4196. You can also join me on live chat. That's up and everything. So shoot me with your questions or comments regarding this topic. So all these aspects, and also part of the sexual satisfaction I'm talking about, what about not only foreplay, right, but also what about the levels of caressing and sensual touching, right? Like I said, sensual touching or caressing, maybe when you're younger, oh my God, yeah, he likes his cock touch, or I'm going to hurry up and grab that, or I'm going to hurry up and grab her tits or her crotch right away. Oh my God, that's sensual touching, right? Do you people know what I'm talking about, right? And people listen to the show, they're in their 30s, 40s, 50s, or 60s. They're laughing because they know what the hell I'm talking about. When I mean about the sensual touching tends to increase and become a part of the physical pleasure and the emotional connection, because sensual touching is more time-consuming, right? It's almost taking the definition to, what do I want to say? That you're able to enjoy the ride and not be so goal-driven, right? You want to enjoy that journey, if you will, right? You want to enjoy you soak in the touching, the sensual aspect, right? You're enjoying the ride to maybe the physical coming of both genders, if you will, or the physical pleasure, but you're also focused on the emotional connection. And I even asked, and part of this, and I've talked about this a lot and everything, but I'm going to bring it up anyways, along with the sensual touching, the caressing, it's not just with the genitals, people. That comes into it, but it's more than that, right? And I'll ask, even clients, they might be in their early 20s, students, human sexuality, the term just started this week. How many are able to have sex looking at each other's eyes, staring at each other in the eyes, right? You've heard me say this on numerous radio shows before, and I ask, and it's so funny. You see the younger ones typically, right? Their heads go right down. They're embarrassed, right? And the ones that like this, they're able to look at me in the eye, Greg, hell yeah. Yes, I love that, right? They're able to look me in the face. They're not embarrassed because they know what I'm talking about, and they're comfortable with their own sexuality, and that's a big difference. The younger ones, not all, a lot of them, or I'm going to say most of them, I'm going to go out on a limb, most of them, they'll hang their head. Oh, what do you mean looking at each other? I can't do that. Oh, my God, I can't look at my boyfriend, or my boyfriend doesn't look at me if I want to. It's so embarrassing, and oh, my God. That is knowing somebody and being comfortable with yourself, right? And you want to I talk about, this all ties in with the sexual satisfaction with the emotional, right? Satisfaction. There's a difference. And this typically has a lot to do with maybe the older people, like I said, mid-30s, even, give or take. It can be, lower than that, of course. But the big difference about the full satisfaction, the emotional and the physical, you're making each other feel important, cared about deeply, right? does that mean there's no one-night stands? And I talked about this on Sunday night, right? About hooking up or one-night stands, whatever. Does this mean people 35 on up don't have one-night stands? No. But believe it or not, they're more pleasurable, maybe able to be more relaxed and fun during that than someone in their 20s because they're more confident in their sexual knowledge and they're more confident within themselves sexually, okay? So the caressing more, the sensual touching, and it's not just goal-directed, right? You're able to enjoy the ride. Nice choice of words, but you're able to enjoy the ride. You're able to soak up the sensual touching and just take, really feel the hands and the fingerprints. And you're able to maybe embrace, right? You're paying attention more to your body's motions than maybe when you were younger, right? And you can really tell if your partner likes to be touched a certain way by the way they maybe push into that firm hand up against your tits, ladies. Oh, wait a minute. Hold on. But, how they lean into it and how they embrace those aspects. And you're paying more attention. You're more in tune with each other. Maybe you're more in tune with your own insecurities when you're younger. Okay? So that's a big thing. That you work more towards the sensual pleasuring, right? Sensual, and that doesn't just mean physical. That means emotional pleasure, and you're okay about that. Another aspect, I'm going to sort of kill the mood in a little bit. How many people, even in their maybe mid-20s, that might be getting married, might have kids, or even their late 20s, right? And it's no big deal. We can have sex, the baby, it's newborn, maybe 1 year old, they're sleeping a lot, no big deal, right? But what happens when they get to be, I'm laughing, right? 3 years old, 4 years old, 5, 6, 7. Oh, my God, if they're teenagers, right? What starts happening, right? You're more worried about, oh, my God, the kids are going to hear us. We can't, we're going to have sex. It's going to be like a scene from Modern Family where, Phil's kids, they all walk in and they're having sex on bed, traumatize your kid. So you're so worried and caught up about this. But, I think that goes into, like I said, the mid-30s. That's about the main reason. You're so worried about the kids finding out, so worried about the kids hearing, mom or dad's head getting pounded up against the wall in a pleasurable way that you're whole hung up, and you're so worried about that, you're not able to pay attention and be fully focused emotionally and sensually and physically on one another because you're so worried about the kids. And listen here, it's not always the ladies that are worried about the kids. Sometimes guys are more conservative and they're more worried about it. And the moms are like, rip my clothes off. I don't care if I yell and scream and they hear us. And the guys are, they're the ones that are embarrassed and don't want the walk of shame for their kids hearing that. So when the kids tend to get older and they, teenagers, they're able to drive and, worried about that. But they're able to drive, be out of the house more, then it's funny how you tend to be more relaxed and more okay sexually because the kids are out of the house. They're not as home as much. And it's funny how a lot of kids, a lot of couples, if they're still together, or even maybe single adults, or maybe they're dating and sexual with somebody, when the kids are off to college or out of the house, they have a rebirth or a reborn sexual energy because they don't have to worry about the kids, right? Walking in, hearing anything, right? So you tend to be more free and more relaxed. But I help couples, even with kids, to be okay with their sexuality and don't sort of put the kids out of it. Block it out, and I try to teach couples, how to do that. Actually, that might be another show topic, okay? So you're not so worried about the kids, right? When you're younger, you're worried about that. But another thing that sort of reduces or puts a hindrance on the full emotional, psychological sexual pleasure, sexual satisfaction, or a hang up, and rightfully